Alright, hey guys, Untame here, and it's been a while since I last uploaded, but I haven't really got a good reason for that other than the fact I haven't really been playing regular factions, and I don't really like to record hardcore factions because of lag spikes, etc. But anyway, I've decided to unlist the majority, if not all, of my videos, and the reason for that is simply because some of them I just didn't think were very good quality, or just not very good explanations in my in-depth canoning videos. But right now I'm going to redo my in-depth canoning video, starting from scratch, starting from hammers, like Leon archers, and why and how everything. Sorry, I accidentally muted my mic there. So as I was saying, I'm gonna sort of start from the basics, show why hammers, guiders, whatever, all the basics, what you need to do, and what you need to change to get through certain defenses will be in my next video, and then I'll move up from there. So today I'm going to start off with what I'd call a basic lean now. It's obviously a lean, looks different, they use torches, etc. But this is a lean, same timings, 20 stacker, etc, etc, etc. This is completely standard, nothing you won't see on any normal cannon. And you can see you've got your slabs down there. So first I'm gonna teach about slab busting. A lot of you guys know a lot about this stuff because, well, you just do. It's not the most rocket sciencist thing in the world, but I'm gonna start from scratch, and then hopefully you guys will enjoy what comes up later on, which is a bit more advanced. Okay, so right now this is the hammer, right? So hammer down. Slab bust is these two dispensers here, and this is they are both needed to get rid of slabs if they're like bedrock from like Y100 or whatever. But basically what happens is, because of these three blocks, which are called guider blocks, 1, 2, 3, the TNT is okay. So the white wall is the scatter TNT. When it comes out the barrel, the scatter TNT will be at this height because of the guider. This is like, so the second, oh god, when it gets propulsed by the main power, it sort of flies up diagonally, well, like slightly diagonally. It's like in the middle of those two blocks when it hits here, so it hits there and then carries on moving forward until it's here. And the hammer does the same thing. The hammer comes out of that piston there, flies up, hits the roof, and because there's no guider above where the hammer is, it goes one block higher than this piece of TNT and exits the barrel like that. So I'll just show you like what's going on there. I could have done a bit more to that on that. See, and then that's slab busted down there. I'll show you. So that's slab busting. So then you're gonna want to stack some sand, right, to get through the wall. So you're gonna do a bit of that. Stack up your 22. I'd like to do 22 simply because normally you'd do 21, but because I like doing 5 high barrels for numerous reasons, because of this, you actually want to stack to 22 to get you the perfect sized hole. So I put 22 sand in. If you're using a 4 high barrel, 21 sand, 6 high, 23, etc, etc, etc. Just, it moves up with your barrel height. So anyway, so I've got my 22 sand in there, and I'm going to want to stack. But what I'm going to want to do is disconnect the scatter, or the slab bust, whatever you want to call it, the slab bust in this sense. But I'm actually going to leave it on for the fact of demonstration, because I'll show you what happens if you do forget to take it off. So I'm going to shoot. You see what happened there is the sand stacked because there was no slabs, but then the TNT was sort of about there. The slab bust TNT was about there in the sand stack and blew up, and therefore it didn't give you like the full stack it would, because as you see the water's sort of been has started flowing here, and that's because of the sand stack pushing the water out. So it's stacked up to the correct height, which would have been 22, but because of the slab bust, it hybrided it. So I'm now going to get rid of the slab bust and then stack again. Like so. And there you see stack to Y22. But the reason this works is because for each dispenser, a piece of TNT, think of the dispensers as TNT. For each piece of TNT, it will push sand down 1.3 blocks, I'm pretty sure. So 1.3 blocks. So therefore, every 4 pieces of dispensers, or every 4 pieces of TNT, will stack 5 pieces of sand. So to stack 22 sand, I think I've done 26 just to make sure it doesn't it doesn't just not stack, just for the purpose of the demonstration, so it doesn't muck up. I've done that. Okay, so I'm gonna get through this wall, show you what you want to do when you hybrid. So this is stacked to Y22, so that's perfect height. So all you want to do is come down here, place a couple of sand. I'm gonna just have red sand I just have red sand on me. You want to disconnect the hammer there, just the hammer wiring going into the hammer down. You want to disconnect that wiring and then reconnect your slab bust. I'm just going to put that on a bit more, a bit of a higher delay. It doesn't need to be, it's just for the purpose of demonstration, just so it looks, so you can see what happens. So I'm going to shoot. See what happens there is the sand and TNT combined, and it hybrided and blew up the wall. So yeah, so now I'm going to show you what, with just slight editing, you can do to this cannon. Paste. Okay, so you see I've fixed the border. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to take off all of this delay. So if you see here, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ticks. And if you see here, I'm going to reconnect the hammer. This is 4, 5 ticks. So this is on 4 ticks from this power, because see it's 4 ticks and then there's a repeater there and a repeater there. So the delay of the slab bust is 4 ticks more than the power. And same with the hammer. Because this is coming off here, it's 4 ticks there, and then the power going into that. So these are on a 4-day delay difference. But actually, this delay is a fraction, it's a fraction longer. It's a slightly longer delay than this is, and that's because of a thing we called fraction delays. And what this is redstone actually entering a repeater is slightly longer than a tick. So 4 of these repeaters is slightly longer than 4 ticks, theoretically. So by having the fraction delay, it actually creates a tunneling effect, and this makes the slab, so if you're stacking sand in the same shot with that one, it actually will blow up the slabs before the sand renders, I'd say. So I'm actually going to demonstrate that now. So I'm going to shoot, and you're going to see it's going to slab stack. There you go. And see Y22. But basically how this works is the exact same concept as stacking sand. For every piece of TNT, it will shoot the slab bust down 1.3 blocks. So it works the exact same way as the sand. So if you're stacking if you're cannon platforms at Y200 and you have a 5 high barrel, you need like 200 and I'd say 208 pieces of TNT in the hammer, and that would slab stack. But basically, so that's the sort of basics, what you can do slightly with a slight change. But don't get me wrong, if I say, because I've got like 26 pieces of TNT in this hammer, if I was going to move this platform up to say like Y40, it would not slab stack. It would still slab bust if I put this delay on, and it would still stack 22 sand if I raised it up, but it wouldn't slab stack because you need the more power. You need the more power on the hammer, and the same way it wouldn't stack sand in one shot up to this height because there's one, not enough sand in the barrel, and two, not enough power in the hammer. But I'm going to cover that on a later episode, well, probably in the next episode, like how to expand a cannon. But anyway, so from that we're going to move on to this cannon, and this is like if I'm tunneling someone, this would be the cannon I use. This is a 20 stacker one shot cannon. So it slab stacks, and it slab busts, stacks, and hybrids in the same shot. And that this red wool wiring I put here is the one shot delay. This is the exact same cannon, just with this added wiring and piston. So what happens here is the cannon goes off exactly like that one does. It's got the slab stack delay on, so it's going to slab bust and stack in the same shot. And then after the hammer goes off, this wiring goes around and powers this piece of the hammer I've added in. And this is actually the hybrid TNT. And because it's at the same height as the hammer, the hybrid TNT is also going to be in this block, like the hammer is, like I said earlier. So the hammer is going to be this hybrid is going to be flying with the hammer, and this red sand, which is the hybrid sand, will also be flying at this height. And what that means is it won't get hammered down. So so the white sand is the sand and the slab bust. The red wool is the hybrid TNT, hybrid sand, and slab bust, and not slab bust, and hammer. Sorry. So that's going to be at that height, and because the white wool is below the red wool, everything in the white wool sector will get shot down, but everything in the red wool sector won't. So what happens is it will slab stack, and then because the red sand and the hybrid TNT didn't get shot down, it will be at the top of the stack and it will hybrid. And I'm just going to show you that now. That wasn't too good of an explanation, but the demonstration will show you better than I can explain. So like so. Okay, there you go. And that should have, and it did, that hybrid at the correct height. Now, problem with this cannon actually is because the hammer is a vertical hammer instead of horizontal and vertical. Actually, you saw it bounced. The hybrid sand and TNT bounced, and the way to stop that is actually have a tick more delay. Like the minimum delay you can have without that happening would be 5 ticks, or at least I found on this cannon it's 5 ticks. But actually, if I do that, because it's a vertical hammer, it drops a bit too much and it stacks to Y21 and then hybrids too low, which is not it's just something you have to do with this cannon. But I've added enough delay for it not to mess up the hybrid, and I tend to put enough delay so if you have a laggy shot and it bounces, it always hybrids anyway. So it's not a problem, and we've actually found it to make a slightly more consistent hole. But anyway, so the reason this works is, like I've explained just now, the red sand and the hybrid TNT, which is this piece of TNT, this dispenser here, and the red sand obviously, is flying through at this height because of the guider, because it's all inputted through this piston. And then all the white wool, which would be the slab bust and the sand, is inputted from this piston and these two dispensers, and is flattened because of the guider, so it sort of flies like that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can explain about that. Let me just go through this next wall, I guess, just to show it's good. It works perfectly. on there. I think I still had some wool in the cannon. Whoops. Time day. Sorry about that. Set sand and just time it at work. Forgot to take some of the wool out of the barrel. And boom. And there you have it. So next episode I'm actually going to cover how you'd expand this cannon, or at least expand using the knowledge of this cannon to like make 240, 230 stackers, and I'll show you how to the different types of sand compressions you could use, different types of hammer compressions you could use, and so on. So I hope you enjoyed this sort of start to a revamped series. So like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode. See ya.